As a man over 40, I know it can be super difficult to lose belly fat and to get in great shape. Today, I'm going to give you 7 things that men over 40 who are successful at losing their belly fat and getting in amazing shape do. Men like my client Will, who went from this to this, or even myself, who went from this to this in just a few months. Tip 1, work out with weights. Working out with weights is one of the best investments a man over 40 can make in themselves. It's going to improve all of your blood markers. It's going to widen your shoulders. It's going to make your waist look narrower. You cannot lose with weight training. Weight training basically builds your foundation. It builds your structure. And it's super important to have that foundation of muscle, especially for those of us over 40. Men start losing muscle as early as their 30s, and that explains why you might feel like you've lost a step by the time you hit 40. But you don't have to feel like you've lost a step. The fact is that this muscle loss, it can be counteracted by a good weight training program. And it doesn't have to take up all of your time either. In as little as 2 30-minute weight training sessions a week, you can make amazing progress. In fact, I've been training people like this for years. But it's not enough just to lift weights. It's not talked about often, but lifting weights actually doesn't burn that much fat. That's because you're only exerting yourself for short periods of time, so it just doesn't burn that many calories. So don't make the mistake of thinking that you can go to the gym, you can work hard, and that's going to allow you to eat pretty much anything that you want. I made that mistake before. It was not pretty. As a matter of fact, I did it twice, and this was the better of the 2 disasters. Far too many guys go after putting on size without thinking about what that size consists of. Going to the gym and overeating and then calling that bulking, it's going to make you bigger for sure, but it's not going to give you that superhero physique that you're after. We want lean muscle. We want the V taper. We want wide shoulders, and we want that small waist. We are living our life story, and we want the body that goes with that life story, one that makes our confidence go up, not one that makes our confidence go down. Now, we'll get to the dietary solution for this in a bit, but first, guys who are successful at losing belly fat also follow tip 2, limit alcohol. Now, alcohol, it's something that can really sneak up on a lot of guys. Maybe you're just trying to unwind after a rough day, but the truth is that alcohol, it has many negative effects on a man's body. First of all, alcohol has quite a few calories, and they can really add up quick because you're ingesting all of these calories in liquid form. Alcohol, it takes up very little space in the stomach because it's liquid, and the stretch of the stomach lining, it's one of the signals that tells the brain you're full. So usually you're still going to want to eat the same amount after you drink, so you can see how that's really going to start to add up. You have the alcohol and the food. In addition, after you drink alcohol, your decision-making ability is hampered, as everyone knows, and you might just bag a hamburger instead of a turkey sandwich, if you know what I mean. And since alcohol is technically a toxin that your body has to clear out, your body's not going to lose fat correctly with that alcohol in your system. It's going to want to clear that out first. So it's going to blunt your fat loss while alcohol's in your system. And a recent study shows that alcohol actually decreases a man's testosterone production. And that's not good at all for those of us who want to lose belly fat, especially since we're over 40. A man over 40 needs all the testosterone he can get. So anything that blunts our natural production, that's going to be a bad thing for somebody over 40. All in all, as a man over 40, it's best to limit alcohol consumption if you want to get a great physique. Tip 3, move every day. Exercise, snacks. Getting out and getting moving is one of the best ways to get rid of belly fat. There are 2 factors at play in a man's life. How much energy he takes in on a daily basis, that's basically eating, and how much energy he burns off on a daily basis, and that's his activity. Now, you want the energy you take in to be on point, but you also want the energy you expend to be as high as it realistically can be. And a great way to do this is to incorporate what Andrew Huberman calls exercise snacks into your day. So instead of grabbing a food-related snack, which can really add up over the day, get up and move a little bit. For example, a great cardio exercise snack, and also, a little bit of exercise for your legs, would be to go out and walk 5 flights of stairs a couple of times during your workday. Or stand up from your desk and do 50 to 100 jumping jacks. But you have to be careful with this one because your coworkers, well, they might not react so well to that. But you get the idea, small bouts of exercise during the day. This is going to go a long way towards getting your calorie expenditure up, and combined with the other tips on this list, this will help you lose belly fat. If this video is helping you, consider hitting the like button and subscribing to Fit Men Over 40. Tip 4, get plenty of sleep. This one is so underrated. More and more studies are coming out every day on the importance of sleep. A study by Wang and colleagues in 2018 showed just how crucial sleep is for those of us who want to get in amazing shape. 2 groups participated in this 8-week study. The first group got a normal amount of sleep, but the second group slept just 1 hour less than usual. Now, both groups were dieting, but the sleep-deprived group lost far less fat, and 83% of the weight that they did lose, it was from muscle. That's right, not getting enough sleep basically kills your biceps and leaves your love handles. What could be worse than that? The good news is that sleep, it's almost a miracle for those of us who want to lose fat and keep muscle. It's also known that people who sleep less, they have more cravings and they have a harder time sticking to their diet. And this is basically because the hormones that make you hungry, they go up when you miss sleep, and the hormones that make you feel full, they go down when you miss sleep. This makes getting in shape a nightmare. No pun intended. Although it does vary by individual, most of us should aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. Just make sure that you sleep enough that you feel rested and you aren't yawning and feeling sleepy during the day. Tip 5, make better food choices. Notice I said better food choices, not perfect food choices. When you first begin a diet, your body is primed to lose fat. There's really no need to go immediately into some kind of crazy restrictive diet. Just start slowly, get your body used to eating more nutrient-dense foods. Foods with higher fiber and more protein. And this is going to start to cut your calories without you having to track everything you eat. And when you start to add fiber and protein, you're going to decrease your hunger. So replacing things like snack cakes and chips, these obvious things that are in your diet that you know could be improved, if you replace those with fruit, you're going to be off to a great start. Apples, oranges, berries, these are all great things to add to meals. They have low calories and they really fill you up. Lean beef, grilled chicken, low-fat dairy products like Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, these are all great things to start bringing into your diet. So you're thinking about bringing things into your diet, replacing some of the worst things in your diet. This is going to help you start to lose weight without feeling like you're overwhelmed. By making these small changes to your diet, I'm betting that you're going to start seeing your belly fat decrease, and with very little effort. Tip 6, manage calorie intake. You might be wondering, well, which one is it? Do I just follow rule number 5, make better food choices, or do I actually count calories? Well, it depends on your goals. If you just want to have a flat belly and get in good shape, then improving your food choices is going to give you the most bang for your buck. It's definitely going to get you going in the right direction. So if you have more than, say, 20 or 30 pounds of belly fat, go ahead and follow rule number 5 for a while. And that's going to get you used to choosing more nutrient-dense options and let your taste buds acclimate to the taste of those kinds of foods. You're going to start actually to like them, and you'll find your favorites. Blueberries. But if you want to take it to the next level, say 6-pack lean, or if you have only maybe 10 or 15 pounds of belly fat left, then there's going to come a time when you want to have the extra attention to detail that calorie counting provides. Let me give you an example. Now, if you want to save money, you could do that to some extent without tracking your finances. That's completely true. But if you really wanted to save a certain amount, you would need to start keeping track of your bank account, your expenses, things like that. The same thing with fat loss. Yes, you can lose fat without tracking calories, and it can work, that's for sure. In fact, that is indeed the way I recommend most of my clients start out. But going to the next level, that's going to require you to get familiar with the calories that are in specific foods, and it's also going to require you to learn how to track those calories. The great news is that you get better at this over time, and by the time you reach your fat loss, your belly fat goals, you're going to have a much better handle on calories. And from there, you won't have to worry about tracking everything nearly as much. It's like anything else. It's a skill that gets better over time the more you use it. And once you have that down, the hassle of counting calories, it gets much easier, pretty much goes away. You don't really have to think about it that much anymore. And then you just have the benefits. And the benefits are a lean body that you can be proud of. And that's whether you're at home, whether you're at the office, or whether you're on vacation. Tip 7, dedication and goal setting. This one is so important. The truth is you really need to set a goal and you really need to visualize it. You really need to see it. Go through it in your mind and think about what it's going to be like to lose 20 pounds, what it's going to be like to have that 6-pack. You also need to know both what you want and why you want it. And you can use something called SMART goals. You may have heard of these before. It's an acronym for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. So for an example, instead of saying, I want to lose weight, you'll say, I want to lose 20 pounds in the next 16 weeks. And that's a goal that's both specific and measurable. That takes care of the first 2 letters of the acronym. And you'll be able to see each week if you're on track to attain the goal by measuring your weekly fat loss. Now, your goals should also be attainable. So it's unrealistic if you say something like, I want a 6-pack in a month if you have like 20 pounds of fat to lose. And setting unrealistic goals, that's going to lead to disappointment. It's going to lead to frustration. So make sure your goal is realistic. So how much fat can a guy expect to lose? Well, per week, you can expect to lose about 1 to 3 pounds of fat depending on your body fat level. But 1 to 1.5 pounds per week is a nice safe bet for most guys. Now, the goals you set, they should also be relevant to the new awesome life that you're going after. Setting a goal like being a public speaker or becoming a scuba diver, something like that, that has nothing to do with losing 20 pounds. So you want to make sure that your goal is relevant. Finally, the goal should be time-bound. So for example, your goal of 20 pounds of fat loss in 16 weeks, you could say, I want to lose 20 pounds of fat by July 24th, 2024. Having a clear deadline like that, it allows you to monitor your progress and make changes whenever you need to so that you can stay on track. And the deadline, it's so important. It makes the goal real to you. You can also use events or seasons as motivation for your goals. So maybe you could say, I want to lose 20 pounds by a September vacation or maybe a cruise, something like that. So this is a great way to motivate yourself because you know that event is coming and you want to look great for it. So on those days when you feel like, oh, I just don't feel like doing this, I don't want to work out, I don't want to eat this food, you think about that goal. You think about that event coming up, and that reignites your motivation. To get to the goal, it makes the process sort of like a fun adventure where you're the hero of your own life and you're accomplishing your goal. You're getting closer every day. But there's something that's always going to be true. You are the one that has to make that first move. And one of the best ways to get started is to subscribe to the Fit Men Over 40 channel because I'll have more tips for you very soon.